Hi, everybody. This is the third time I've tried this. Okay. And the only time I can do these videos for you guys is when my husband's downstairs or whatever. He's down there checking the mail. I don't know why he's down there checking the mail, because probably didn't get nothing, but hardly do. So now we found out we got another manager instead of the one we're used to working with, which is okay. She seems nice. She just supposedly doesn't have access because we're trying to find out how much rent we owe. And if you're in the Austin area, there's apartments that are very affordable. The one we're paying for is for our $749 plus $220, which would be for the electric and then our internet. And I mean, we have appliances and everything too. So we have like a refrigerator, that bad boy, which is a good sized refrigerator for us because we're so two of us. And we have a microwave. We have this heated stove, which it's up to date. My son just got us this. So we have a toaster oven when we get that kind of stuff. It's just when we switch over to Texas, which we're still trying to figure out how to do that because they don't pay as much as they do in California. And we're not going to be in Texas long. We can't live here. I mean, the rent's affordable, that ain't no problem. It's just, one, we wouldn't make as much as we do in California because Texas is like 966, something like that. Here, you know, the only reason why we're even here is because my granddaughter and my son and, you know, Nicole when they need help. But we just can't live with Nicole. All that stuff, I have to pick up this with my charger. I gotta get new chargers too because one's bent. But other than that, I mean, you know, it's pretty, you know, low in rent and stuff. You can find them, but it's not like 2 bedrooms or 1 bedrooms that are cheap. It's a studio apartment, and if you take a look at this apartment, it kind of looks like a old Studio 6, like Motel 6, but the studio ones, which there's one across the street, by the way, by the jury that we stayed in the first night we were back here, but we're planning on going back eventually. Just find a place out there. But, you know, my feelings to this is it's not that I don't like Texas. It's just, it's not home. It's not where, you know, I raised my kid. It's not where my friends are. I don't have friends out here. The only people I have out here in this town is my kid and his wife and the baby. That's it. All my friends are back in the Fontana area, which, you know, it makes it ridiculous. You can't afford to live there anymore. Let's get it. A person on SSI can't even barely make it here with what they give here. So, yeah, we're planning on moving back eventually. It's just going to take time. But other than that, you know, it's okay. So if you want to move to the Austin area and it's only you or your spouse, they have studio apartments, and I recommend this one because the people are nice. No, they are really nice. It's just that it's, you know, like I said, not where I wanted to be. I mean, I was semi happy in the desert. Um, but you know, whether I believe it or not, you know, his sister-in-law is the one that told him she didn't want nothing to do with him. She didn't require him his family, and supposedly his brother said that too, but I didn't hear it. You know, I'm not saying, I think, you know, he, you know, misjudged what little Gary said, but, you know, brothers will be brothers. I mean, I'm sorry to say that, you know, nobody can get along with her sometimes, and it's not that she's crazy. I don't think she's crazy. I just think she's, you know, she's worried. Yeah, I mean, she loves Gary, her husband, and I understand that, you know, because no matter how much we fight, Chris and I do fight a lot. I mean, with mouth, not punches. Believe me, I'd lay him out in a minute. But I mean, I'm not that way. I don't go hitting people for no reason. And I've never actually, you know, did mean things like that. I'm not an abuser like that. But, you know, in that day, he was pretty bad, you know, when he drank. He's not like that no more. He just, I think a lot has to do with his brain activity being where it's at. But they were wrong. He's not mentally retarded. It's just part of his brain don't work. And he's very impatient. But I mean, the only person he's not impatient with is Ava. He wasn't impatient with Hannah either at certain times, but I mean, when Gary was born, he was like only 18 when Gary was born. And he still had the mind of a teenager. I mean, let's face it, even at my age back then, I had more of a mind of a teenager because, you know, I had problems, you know. And I'm not going to discuss them on here because, you know, you have to be careful what kind of stuff you mention. Just know that I'm a survivor, period. I'm not here to talk about me anyway, my abuse. I'm here to talk about, you know, just whatever. It's just that I do highly recommend this place if you're moving to the state and to this town. You're closer to stores. There's a Circle K. Well, no, not Circle K, but a 7-Eleven and a Denny's and a Motel 6 and a Drury's. That's a hotel. That's not a motel. And then there's the Studio 6, which is part of the Motel 6 chain, but it's more like, you know, where you got a kitchenette and stuff. And it looked really nice. You could live like that. Those would have made great apartments because of the way they look. I mean, they're still the same similar setup. They have a refrigerator, they have a sink, they have the burners and stuff, and the microwave and everything. But the way it's set up good. I mean, I could have lived there, you know, even with what I got. But, you know, like I said, if you plan to move to Texas and you're on SSI, be aware when you do tell them that you moved out here, because we did it before. We lived here in Austin for 2 years prior to going back to Cup. I mean, we still have residency in California. It's just we're not there right now. But I just washed my hair the other day. It already looks dirty. I have to wash it later, but it's so cold. I mean, this is what they considered a cold front. 32 degrees. Please, go to Michigan. Everybody I know in Michigan will tell you. 20 inches of snow and you still got to go to school. But let's face it. You know, things are, rough all over, I guess. Each state has their own problems. I just hope 2028 comes really quick so we can get somebody else in office. Because like I said, I may not, I don't consider me Republican, Democrat, or liberal. I vote who I think will do a better job. And I think Harris would have done a better job. But the voters thought differently and they voted for him. Now I'm going to do it. I mean, trying to put Greenland as part of this country when it's a separate country, please. Oh, there's something going on out there. I hear yelling. I'm coming right by. Anyway, that's their business. Now, people get loud around here too. I mean, it's Texas. What do you expect? I mean, it's not a real cold snap, trust me. I know real cold snaps. Growing up with a father in the military, moving like every 2 to 3 years. I've lived in Michigan, Ohio, been in Minnesota during the winter. I've lived in Texas when I was little. Last place we lived when my dad was in the military was Michigan. So, therefore, yeah. Good grief. Crazy kids, I swear. I hope they're just playing around and not actually fighting, but like I said, I can't be mixing in there. I'm trying to get a video here taken care of. I know you guys haven't heard from me hardly ever, except when I can. I do what I can. I don't get paid for doing it. It's not about money for me, even though money would be nice. But, hey, people shouldn't pay for my gibberish. Or the fact I don't have hardly any tea, so therefore, and that was my own stupidity when I was younger. But, I mean, you can thumbs up it if you like it. It's just something that I'd like to do. Because I don't have no connection with people around here. It's even more important. But anyway, I hope everybody has a good day. Subscribe down there if you'd like. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.